suppose that the function f represents the graph of these mountains and you are located at this point. So this is the origin. Consider this vector which points towards the positive x direction. If you walk towards the positive x-axis, you will travel along this path and you will find yourself descending after the very first step. And if you move towards this vector direction, which points towards the negative y-axis, you will find yourself ascending, and what you'll experience is that you will start climbing towards this path. This scenario can be represented by the directional derivatives. Here we can consider f as a function in terms of x and y, and we have this notation for the gradient of f at p, which is given by this formula. The partial of f with respect to x as the first component and the partial of f with respect to y in the second component. This also reads as the gradient of f at p, where p is a point in the domain. And this is our notation for the directional derivatives. In the interpretation, p here is the point in the domain which corresponds to your location. And if the value of the directional derivative is greater than 0, that means you are ascending. So in this case, you are climbing these mountains. If this one is less than 0, then you are descending. And if this gives you the value equal to 0, then you are traveling a level path. That means you are walking towards a flat surface. Now, the u here is the vector which dictates your direction, and it is in fact a unit vector. To find the vector value of your u, which is a unit vector, consider this top view of your location, at which you are located at the center, and y-axis takes the north direction. Negative y as the south, the positive x as the east, and west for the negative x. Here, if you wish to travel in this direction, what you'll have is the unit vector represented by 0, 1. So that is for the north direction. You will have this one as your unit vector. And if you wish to travel south, then you take this vector which has the component equal to 0, negative 1. Similarly, for east, you have this one which is represented by 1, 0. And likewise, for the west, you have negative 1, 0. Now, how about you go in this direction, northeast? So here you have this vector. So actually, this is this vector. And notice that its first and second component is equal to square root of 2 over 2. If you take the magnitude of this one, which is given by this one, this is 1 squared and square root of 2 over 2 squared. The value equal to the square root of 1 half plus 1 half, which is equal to the square root of 1. And this one gives you the magnitude equal to 1. And hence this one is a unit vector. The pattern to memorize this one is that for northwest, you still have the same input, square root of 2 over 2, but the sign varies depending on which quadrant it is located. For northeast, since you have the first quadrant, this contains positive sign. For northwest, you have the x as the negative sign. Similarly, for the southwest, you have this one, both should be negative, and for southeast, the only y component is the negative. So this is how you obtain the unit vectors of the directional derivatives. And moreover, from your current location, the steepest ascent can be obtained if you go towards this direction. So this is the del of f at point P. And the maximum value for the slope is equal to its magnitude. And if you take the opposite direction, then you are going towards the steepest descent with the minimum slope value equal to the negative of the magnitude of del of f. With this minimum slope value, how do we find the gradient of your function and the directional derivative, where the point you consider is 0, negative 2, and this one is your unit vector? Let's do a step-by-step process in obtaining this one. Step 1. Find the partial derivative of f with respect to x and with respect to y. So here you simply derive this one with respect to y. So what we have is fx is equal to negative sine of xy times y. And the derivative of this one is equal to 0. Since y here is assumed to be constant, this one is equal to y sine and the angle is xy. Let us now find your f sub y. So here we assume x as constant. This gives you negative sine of xy times x, and then for the derivative of y, you add 1. And this one simplifies to negative x sine of xy plus 1. Next step is to solve for delta of f of p, where p here is given to be the point 0, negative 2. And the formula for the gradient is given by this one. So here, suppose you have xy, and then this is equal to the first component fx, and the second component is fy of xy. Substituting what we have calculate earlier, this gives us equal to this one for fx. So this is negative of y sine of xy. And then for the second part, we have this one. So that is f sub y. So here we have negative x sine of xy plus 1. Let us now substitute p, which is the point 0, negative 2. What we have here is that when you substitute this point in this formula, since x is 0, this one will be 0, since sine of 0 is also 0. And this one, since x is 0, this term also reduces to 0. But since it has additional term, which is 1, therefore we have the vector 0, 1. And in our next step, we use this one together with your vector u to find the directional derivative. And by the given, your u is equal to a unit vector with first and second component equal to the square root of 2 over 2. The directional derivative of f at point P is equal to the dot product of your unit vector and your del f of P. And we replace P here by the point 0, negative 2. This one is equal to the unit vector, which is given by this one. You have the dot product of the vector that we have obtained, which is equal to 0, 1. Taking the dot product gives us 0 times square root of 2 over 2 plus 1 times square root of 2 over 2. The first one cancels, and we have this one, which is square root of 2 over 2. So this is how you obtain the directional derivative of f in the direction of u at point P. Let us now consider this problem. Here, the surface equation of the mountain is given by this function. The distance is measured in meters. The x-axis points to the east direction, and the y-axis points to the north direction. If a mountain climber is at this point in the surface, let us answer the following. The first one is find the direction of the steepest ascent. For part B, let us also identify whether she is ascending or descending if she moves towards the east direction, and at what rate this one is happening. We also have a similar question for item C, but this time she is going towards the southwest direction. And finally, in what direction she is traveling a level path. To find the steepest ascent, what we need is the gradient of f at P. Let us now find the partial of f with respect to x. So here what we have is the derivative equal to negative 6x, since this one is 0 and this one is also assumed to be constant. For fy, what we have is negative 4y. Hence, your gradient of f at point xy is given by this one, negative 6x and then negative 4y. Since the climber location is at this point, then your point P takes this first two component. P is of coordinate negative 10, 5. So this is your P. Now, solving the value for the gradient gives us del F at this point, which is now equal to negative 6 times negative 10, and then second component is negative 4 times 5. So this one gives us 60 and negative 20. So this is the vector direction of the steepest ascent. Now, what will happen if she moves towards the east direction? Is she ascending or descending? Now, ascending means the derivative of f at point P is greater than 0. And if this is negative, then this one is descending. Now, how do you find this vector u? So as what we have mentioned earlier, we have this top view. So north is for the positive y, and then you have the positive x for the east direction. And therefore, your vector u is given by 1, 0. So this vector, a unit vector. And since your point P is given by this one, so which is given by negative 10 and 5, it remains to substitute this one to the formula. So that is the derivative of f at point P is equal to vector u times the gradient of f at point P. So it remains to substitute all of these values in our formula. So what we have is the vector value of u, which is equal to 1, 0 times the dot product of the gradient, which is supposed to be equal to negative 6x minus 4y, but these values of x and y is given by this one. So therefore, this one is equal to negative 6 times negative 10, and you have negative 4 times 5. And this gives you the value equal to 1 times 60 plus 0 times 20, which is now equal to 60. So since this is positive, that means she is ascending at the rate of 60 meters per unit. Now, what will happen if she moves towards the southwest direction? Hence, we must take this vector. Here we have the unit vector is equal to the negative of square root of 2 over 2 for both first and second component. Here, since the formula for the directional derivative of f at point P is equal to this one, the unit vector, and this is to be dot product with the value of the gradient evaluated at P, which is now equal to 60 and negative 20. So this one gives us negative square root of 2 over 2 times 60, and then u subtract square root of 2 over 2 times negative 20. And notice that you can cancel out these terms, which now gives us this one. This is now 30, and the cancellation of this one gives you negative 10. So writing this cancellation gives us negative 30 square root of 2, and then you add 10 square root of 2. And this gives us negative 20 square root of 2. And as you can notice, this one is negative. Therefore, she is descending with the same rate as this value. For part D, what direction is she moving towards a level path? Since the formula for the direction vector is this one, and based on our previous calculation, we obtained that this one is equal to the vector u times the value 60 times negative 20. And if we assume u here is equal to the vector ab, which is we need to find, then this one equates to ab dot product with 60 times negative 20. So this is also equal to 60a minus 20b. And since the question asks towards a level path, this means this derivative should be equal to 0. Hence, we have an equation which relates a and b. Now, since this equation contains two unknowns, we need another equation which gives the relationship between a and b. Now, notice that your u is a unit vector, which is now equal to AB. Therefore, its magnitude, which is also equal to the square root of a squared plus b squared, should be equal to 1. And this is where we get our second equation. So taking the square of both sides from this equation gives us a squared plus b squared is equal to 1. So therefore, we have these two equations. The first one is this, and the second is this one. A squared plus b squared is equal to 1. And from this first equation, we can have the value of b, which is equal to b, or negative 20b is equal to negative 60a. Divide both sides by negative 20, and then this gives us b equals 3a. Then substitute b in this equation, and what you'll get is something like this. Instead of a squared plus b squared equals 1, you will have a squared plus 3a squared equal to 1. So this also gives us a squared plus 9a squared equal to 1. So this one is 10a squared is equal to 1. So simplifying, divide both sides by 10. A squared is equal to 1 over 10. Taking square root gives us a equals positive negative 1 over square root of 10, which is also equal to positive negative square root of 10 over 10. And this is your a. And since b here is equal to 3a, then this means b is equal to positive negative 3 square root of 10 over 10. Therefore, she must take the direction which corresponds to the vectors u equals to positive negative square root of 10 over 10 and positive negative 3 square root of 10 over 10. If you want more of the contents like this, subscribe and see you in our next video.